July is seriously such a special month for Scentsy. You all know July 1st was Scentsy's birthday, which was super fun, 14 years. July is also Heidi Thompson's birthday. And my husband has a birthday in July. I have a daughter with a birthday in July, my mom. And it was actually at my mom's birthday lunch, July 25th, 2003. So it's been 15 years ago that we were sitting all together, my sister-in-law and my sisters. We were having lunch. And before this time, I just had always loved candles. I had them warming all the time, burning all the time, and I worried about, I have 5 daughters, and I worried about all that flame and smoke. And so I was kind of investigating like alternatives to the burning candle, and I had used the coffee mug warmers with a jarred candle on there. And so for my mom's birthday, that's what I gave her as a gift. I didn't know, but a year before this time, my sister-in-law, who's married to my little brother Troy, her name's Kara Egan, and she had seen the Millionaire Moms episode on Oprah, and it was the Baby Einstein videos, and she saw these women, and she thought, they're just ordinary women. Like, if they can do that, like, I could think of something too. And my little brother gets headaches and kind of has some health issues, and so she really needed something where she could be at home and be a mom but be able to have some income. So once she saw the Oprah video, she got inspired, and she actually had been praying for a whole year for an idea that she could do. So we met at the lunch for my mom's birthday, July 25th, 2003. We were so excited, just talking, all the sister and sister-in-laws. I'm one of 8 kids, so there was a lot of us there. And I gave my mom one of the coffee mug warmers with a jarred candle, and we started talking about candles. And I mentioned how I had a friend who would take her jarred candle and put it in a bag and break the glass, and then she'd pull out the wax chunk and cut it up in pieces and would warm it in one of those old little potpourri crock pot looking things. I really didn't think much about it, but Kara, who had been trying to think of an idea for a year, she said the words literally came in her mind, Kara, this is your business. So she called me that night about 10 o'clock at night after she had time to think about it, and she said, you know, when you were talking about your neighbor, you know, cutting up the wax and everything, she's like, if people will go to all that trouble, let's make it easy for them. She said, do you want to start a company with me selling wax chunks and warmers? And I'm like, heck yeah, let's do this. So we looked at each other like, do you have money? No. Do you have money? No. Do you have experience? No. Do you have experience? No. But we totally were like, this is a cool idea. So we knew we had to name it and get a business license and start all that process. So a couple names we had thought of at the time were like A Bit of Scents, because you're just putting a little bit in there. Or Perfect Scents, and, you know, we had this whole list of trying to come up with a name. And I was at my mom's doing my mom's nails. I used to do nails, and my Kara was on the computer, and she yelled from the other room. She was typing in all the forms of scent, and she said, what do you think about Scentsy? And I'm like, I love it. I love it. It's perfect. Even if they had other products, it could totally work with that. So that's how the name got created. And I just had somebody ask me about the boxes and why purple, and, you know, purple for the color. Kara had a little makeup bag that was green, kind of sage and purple striped, and that was what we used for our inspiration for the first original boxes and stuff like that. This is
Look at that.
Our very first little catalog.
Ah!
And so anyway, which I'll get to that, but anyway, so we came up with the name, we got a business license, and started trying to figure out how to do it. The first one that we ever poured was the scent Red Delicious. We poured it in ice cube trays, and it looked really goofy because it was ice cubes. So we thought, oh, we need to do something a little better. So I found the bead organizers at the craft store. We poured them in there, and then we would like bang them out and shrink wrap and label each of the bars. And the warmers, we got investigating, like, okay, all the little potpourri ones and all the different ones. And we found one with a light bulb, and we're like, this is perfect, because we even changed it. It came with a 40 watt, but we changed it to a 25. because it was warm enough to release the scent, but the lower temperature released it slower. So we called the company that had been manufacturing them and said, hey, we want to buy these warmers from you. And he said, oh, you can have all you want. Like, nobody uses those anymore. People used to put potpourri and water in them, and no one does that anymore. Like, you're welcome to all you want of that. We're like, awesome. Do you care if we like change the name and put them in a different box? And he's like, you do whatever you want with them. Now I think he's but
right?
Anyway, so we that's where the warmers came from. We took the old technology of the potpourri warmer and the wax. We just said, hey, we're going to take the soft wax that can hold a lot of scent, but ditch the container and ditch the wick, pack as much scent as we can, and call it a Scentsy bar. So anyway, that's how we came up with it. And then the best part of the story is that, so we had the lunch in July. We had our first run of boxes, everything ready to go by that October. And then we were like, okay, now how do we market this? Like, we know it's a cool idea, but at the time, nobody knew what wickless was, you know? And we did put it on a little shelf in a boutique area, and, you know, our little display was so cute, and we were so proud, and nothing sold. So we're like, okay, this is definitely something that we need, you know, person to person to explain. So Kara called, we got into a few like fairs and shows in Salt Lake City, and it was the March Home and Garden Show at the Southtown Expo in Salt Lake, where we had a booth, and across from our booth was this darling 14-year-old niece of Orville Thompson's, who was demoing the little handheld video games that you plug right into your TV. It's like a 35-in-1 game controller or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, and those of you who have done events like that, you become friends with your neighbors around you, and I had seen her demoing this, and I had my 5 little girls. I thought, hey, they would think this is so cool, you know, like, and I wondered, like, does it have Frogger on there? And, you know, games. Anyway, so we were busy at the booth, and we had taken turns. Kara ate lunch. There was a little bench on the end. We were on the end of the aisle, and there was a bench on the end, and she had eaten lunch, and then she came back to work the booth while I sat down and ate lunch real quick. Well, it just so happens at that time that Orville came to check on his niece. His company before was called Event Sales, where he would have like 10 different booths at a show, and different, you know, pitch. People would have chamois or brooms or mops or whatever, and, you know, different people would be working those. Well, this show, he had gone to the promoter and told her, I'm going to give you a check for my booth rent, but the check is no good. And if you will let me still be in the show, at the end of the show, I'll come back and buy back the check with cash. That was his financial situation at the time. And so I had no clue that. I just wanted the game controller. So I'm sitting down eating lunch, and he came to check on, I saw him talking to the niece, and then he actually came and sat on the other end of the same bench that I was on. And so we struck up a conversation, and I asked him, you know, about the thing, and I really wanted to work out a trade. So I asked if he was married, and he said yes, and I said, oh, you totally got to take one of these home to your wife. So anyway, that is how we met Orville, and that was in March, and on May 1st, they came and picked up all of our inventory in the basement, and I still remember, I'm sorry, it gets me emotional, but I still remember that day when the trailer drove down the street, and it was honestly like I had a baby, but I knew that if we gave it up for adoption, it would have a much better life. Kara and I were both stay-at-home moms. We really didn't have the experience of knowing what to do. We knew it was a cool idea. In April, our total sales in April were $20,000, and they came on May 1st, and then they kicked off and launched it July 1st of 2004. So I remember them driving away. That was the first time I met Heidi. A lot of you have seen that picture where we're on the couch, you know, doing our little handshake, and I loved Heidi the minute I knew her. People will always ask, do you ever regret selling it? And not 1 second do I regret it. Orville and Heidi have been so good to us. They've allowed us, a lot of people, when you buy a company, it's like, see ya, you know, to the old owners, but they've allowed us to be part of it. I come to a convention, that's one of my most favorite things, because I get to meet amazing people like you guys, and it's so rewarding to see we're part of something so special. It's so much more than wax and warmers and making people's houses smell good, which people love that. But really, Scentsy is here to help you become who you were really meant to be. And it's to give you confidence, to give you extra income, to help you be able to reach whatever dreams and goals that you want in life. And so I just hope you take the opportunity and go for it. I mean, the worst thing that I see is people that have given up. And just don't ever give up. We all have to relaunch and start over, and you're gonna go home from this. Seriously, this fall is gonna be so dang awesome. Like, they just keep giving us opportunities and things we can talk to customers about and things we can be excited about. So take it and run and go for it and just make the most of it. It seriously is a meant to be company. I can guarantee you that. It wasn't by chance that Orville and I sat on that same bench together that day. It's changed my life. It's changed my family's life, and seriously, so many people that I've seen that they have so much opportunity. So that's my advice. Go for it. I'm seriously so proud of you for all being here. I know it's an effort to be here, leaving jobs and kids and life. It's crazy. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of our little dream. I mean, it's so rewarding. People will come and say, thank you so much for starting Scentsy, and I'm like, it wouldn't be what it is today without every single one of us. It's taken all of us to get it where it is today. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of our Scentsy family. We are so blessed. I have this lady today. I met a new consultant on my team who has come from Hawaii. We've never met each other, and she brought this in. It smells amazing.
Yeah.
I have, seriously, we have a family all over the globe. If we ever needed anything, I've seen it. People like, I'm stuck here, I need help. We have each other. Like, this is something so unique and so special. And so, anyway, thank you for letting me come and share for a minute. But
Thank you.
I'm so proud of each of you, and just go for it. I mean, what have you got to lose, right? Just do it. So, anyway.